Welcome to All in One Discussion, the podcast where we discuss everything from movies to shows to music to games to whatever else I feel like talking about. I'm Julian Nevarez, and today I'm sitting with my good friend Beats. How you doing, Beats?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Perfect. So today we're going to be going over the Nintendo Switch 2. Pretty much taking our thoughts on the process of getting it, to how it's performing, to the games on it, and to the future of it, and just talking all things Nintendo Switch 2. And just going over our feelings and everything. But before we jump into the Switch 2, something we've been doing here is going over a little highlight of the week for us. So I'll say mine first. I've recently been listening to JID, or JID's new album, God Does Like Ugly, which came out earlier this week. And the album is great. I'm a huge fan of hip-hop, and JID is one of the best to do it right now. I think he's got amazing lyrics, he's got amazing flow, he's got an amazing cadence, rhyme schemes, like everything you could want. He makes good songs as well. He's not just like one of those, great lyricists, but they're like music and songs they put out aren't super good.
Yeah.
He's just top tier, and this album does not disappoint. It's really, really, really good. I recommend checking it out. It's called God Does Like It Ugly. God Does Like Ugly.
Ooh, okay. I see. I'll have to check that out.
Some songs that I really, really like from it. So there's a song called Community, which has clips featured in it. And this song has been making the rounds on the memes here because it's got a line where he says, I'll put a bullet in Bob the fucking Builder.
Oh, I have seen that. Actually.
Yeah, and that's been going off. A lot of people are like, what did Bob the Builder do? So that's really funny. But that song's really, really good, and I've been really loving the clips lately, too. They've had a recent album that's been awesome, and I'm really glad to see Clips back out doing stuff again. Another great song is called VCRs, which has one of my favorite rappers also in it, Vince Staples. Ooh. So that song's really good. There's another song that's a freaking banger, and it's called Skate, which is SK and then the 8, like the number 8. Yeah. And that has Sierra and Earth Gang in it, and that song, like I said, is just a banger. It just goes hard. I really, really enjoyed that song. Yeah, and the rest of the album's obviously really great. Those are a couple of my standout songs for now. It might change, but some other features on it. It's also got Jesse Reyes on it, Don Toliver, Ty Dolla $ign, Black. He has like the 6 for the beat. Yeah. And there's other features as well. But the album itself, really, really, really good. Nice. And I highly recommend it, especially if you're a big fan of rap and hip hop.
I definitely am, so shoot, I'll have to check that out.
All right, so what's a good highlight for you this week?
For me, I finally went and saw the Naked Gun reboot yesterday.
Oh, nice! I really wanted to see that too.
Man, yeah, it was really good. I was nervous going into it because I've been such a huge Leslie Nielsen fan my whole life, and I was like a little apprehensive at Liam Neeson like replacing him. I was like, wait, what is this? Like when I first saw it, I was like, absolutely not. Like I don't like this at all. Like what's going on? Like don't taint his legacy, please. But seeing Akiva Schaffer as the director, and like I trust him. The Lonely Island guys, like anything they do, I love. It's always hilarious.
They are hilarious.
So like with them helming it basically, and I was like, all right, well, I mean, Liam Neeson has the capacity to be funny, so I was like, I mean, maybe it will be good, and like so I started like looking, trying to getting more excited about it, and then I finally bit the bullet yesterday, went and checked it out, and man, yeah, they nailed it. Like just the tone, like there were so many like references to the original movies, and like there was actually a really good, like I won't go into spoiler territory or anything, but like a really good scene where like I feel like they memorialized like Leslie Nielsen's character from the original films like really well, and then
nice
kind of turned it into a joke that came back around at the end that was so funny, and I haven't stopped thinking about it all day, like but just overall, like it was such a good movie, and like I just missed that kind of like slapstick, kind of like tongue firmly planted in cheek sort of humor where it's like super literal, but like they just roll with it like it's not like a big deal at all.
Yeah, like, I've seen nothing but great reviews for the movie pretty much, and people saying that it's like a good return of like stupid comedy, right? And like that's done really well, and that's just really, really funny. And I like their campaign. I've seen a lot of ads of them like save comedy by seeing this movie in theaters, and don't let the theaters be dominated by just action flicks and superhero movies. Like let's go see comedies on the big screen. So I definitely do want to go see it while it's still in theaters.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I was like, shoot, yeah, I'm down to see it again. So
yeah, we might have to make sure we go do that.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. So Next up, we're going to continue the all-in-one alphabet challenge. So obviously we did A and we did B. So today we're doing C's. We're going to tackle this. I'm going to go over one and then we'll go shoot over to you.
Okay.
So we'll start with shows. So my show for C is this anime called Code Geass.
Ooh.
I don't think have you seen Code Geass before?
No, I haven't.
All right. So a lot of people haven't. I really push this because it's, I think, a really, really great anime. The show basically tackles a lot of interesting themes, kind of about like class and like revenge, and there's like, having having the protagonist become kind of a villain, kind of like Death Note a little bit, with Light Yagami.
Yeah.
So the main character Lelouch, he's like this. He's the protagonist, but he's not really the hero of the story. He has a lot of like villainous and antagonistic attributes that he does, and he's very selfish, but he is fighting at the same time with the side that's for like the greater good. So real quick, the premise of the show, it's like an alternate history where the Holy Britannian Empire has like conquered the world basically, and they have now taken over Japan, and it's referred to as Area 11 because they're the 11th area that have been taken over, and so they're basically like a colony. And Lelouch ends up fighting against them, working with like these Japanese revolutionists. And it's also got one of those key things in stories that I really like, where the main hero is going against like a best friend, a former friend, their childhood friends, and they're on the wrong sides of things. And Lelouch is doing the right things for the wrong reason, and Lelouch and his friend Suzaku is doing the right thing for the wrong reason. If that you're saying, like he's fighting with like that side, the conquering side, but he's trying to change them from within and win over more rights for the people. But he's working actively with the tyrannical, imperialism.
Yeah, that's not good.
And then Lelouch is fighting for the freedom of these people, but he's doing it for purely selfish reasons with no actual care about the people or what comes of them, just his own selfish goals. So I think it's a very, very fascinating show. It has this really good dynamic between those characters. A lot of other really interesting characters and an interesting world and a lot of interesting plot twists. It goes to some dark places as well, but it's also got humor. There's like a kind of slice of life aspect of it where there's like high school involved and they're in school and stuff. But the show itself is really good. It's also pretty short. It's only 2 seasons, 25 episodes each, so it's only 50 episodes. Nice. It's got like awesome mech fights. They fight in these things called nightmare frames, which are basically mechs that they're in. So it's got a little bit of everything. It's got like the intellectual battle of like playing chess, not checkers, against each other, and then it's got like action in these mechs, and then it's got interesting characters, lots of plot twists, cool powers. That's what the Geass is. It's like a power thing. So the main character, he gets this Geass, which is a power that he can command anyone he makes direct eye contact with to do whatever he wants them to do. But he can only use it like once on them. And there's obviously certain limits, but if he makes direct eye contact with you, he can just say something and you have to do it.
Oh, that's a trip.
So it's really cool. And I really love just that dynamic of characters. And I really do like the friends to enemies trope, and then it also does like enemies to friends and a lot of that kind of back and forth, relationship battles. But yeah, it's a really, really great anime with really cool themes, really cool different animation too. Like the art design, is really different. Like they're all really lanky and weird looking, but I love that show. I definitely recommend it.
It sounds like a trip. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on, but it's really, that's what I like about it. It really handles everything really well and really smart.
Nice.
And how it wraps things up. And it's got one of the best endings that you'll see, because I feel like a lot of shows, and especially like animes and other things, like drop the ball when it comes to endings.
Yeah, right, seriously.
But it's got a really, really great ending. So,
that's sick.
What would your show be for C?
Oof, that's hard. I had 2 that I was going to go back and forth on. So the second one was Cowboy Bebop. Like I've always loved that show.
Ooh, I low-key thought that was going to be the show.
So it's hard for me not to talk about that one because like the music in that show was so formative for me because like I listened to that soundtrack nonstop. Like it was like on repeat pretty much all through high school, and just like the show itself was just like such a like, I don't know. I felt like it was like the full package of like you had like the action, comedy, and then like the tragedy in there too, and like there's so many like good tragic moments, and I felt like they did a really good job like just kind of making you feel like everything you needed to feel like for these characters, and like it was unlike anything I'd ever seen at that point in my life. Like So that was something. Yeah, that was something really special. But the show I'm gonna end up going with, which is like, I guess kind of in the same comedy vein. I was seeing Naked Gun this week, but it's actually Chappelle's Show.
Oh, okay, the Chappelle Show.
But yeah, that was one that like I feel like kind of like really helped me through my childhood, because like without going into detail, like I feel like I went through like a lot of rough patches and all that, and then so comedy was something that always just kind of helped me, like just bring me back, you know, and try to keep my spirits up. And then, you know, Chappelle's Show was one of those shows where like he was so edgy with his comedy to the point where like he was constantly trying to push boundaries. I feel like always. I mean, he did, like, and didn't fucking care.
Yeah,
I think that's actually why I liked it so much, because he just. And I mean, like, I know he's said some like questionable things nowadays, but you know, back then it wasn't, you know, as egregious, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know, it was like, yeah, just the comedy, and just like I loved all the characters he brought on. Like there was so much diversity, and like it just
very satirical, right?
And stuff. Yeah, and so good. And then like it always ended with some kind of musical performance. So I was always learning about a new artist almost every episode. And I was like, that's just insane. Like he knows so many people. Like that was just, I don't know, it was so cool to see. And then just him just lifting up his community like that too, like just with his content, like he was just like there to like, it wasn't just for him, it was for everybody. Yeah, I know. So like, I really like Chappelle's Show growing up.
Nice. I didn't expect that, but that makes a lot of sense. And I didn't really watch Chappelle's Show like every week or anything like that, but I did catch it. I did see episodes and stuff. Interesting choice. I really thought it was just going to be Cowboy Bebop. Yeah. I didn't have anything else cross my mind, but makes a lot of sense. Exactly. And to your point, with Cowboy Bebop, that show definitely did have an influence on me as well. But one of the things I admire about that show that I like is just that it was one of the few like anime at the time that I remember seeing that was like really just like adult oriented versus like teen or younger even and stuff. So, and yeah, obviously the soundtrack was just fantastic. That opening theme was like
it's so
stuck
iconic
in my head and like forever. But yeah, interesting. Chappelle Show. Shout out to Chappelle.
Oh yeah,
Dave Chappelle.
Love sketch comedy.
All right, so next up, movies. Go ahead first with your movie. What movie you got?
Okay, I picked. So it technically starts with an L because it's Lupin the Third, but the Castle of Cagliostro.
Okay.
Which was Hayao Miyazaki's actually directorial debut, like the first movie that he directed, which was kind of crazy that it was a Lupin the Third movie.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I didn't even know that.
But like that was one that I watched a lot growing up because like I watched Lupin the Third like religiously on Adult Swim because I'm just like a huge like sucker for like those quick like kind of like I love like crimey type shows. Like I watched Case Closed too. That's another C show I didn't even think about like but yeah, because I just love that like kind of detective like those kind of things where it's like a full like episode or like a full story in like the episode and they'll kind of wrap it up neatly at the end. But yeah, with Lupin the Third, it's like that fun like kind of heist type theme, but he's just so wacky and goofy, but then also like kind of a suave badass like when he wants to be. I was like, he's such a cool character. And then I just love like the cast of characters that follow him around too, with Goemon and Jigen, like his partners that also lightweight hate him, but they respect him too much to like ever like, you know, go against him. And then, you know, he's in love with Fujiko and like just he just like, I don't know, it's just goofy how like the lengths he'll go to like try to get to her, even though she's like nah dude, like like she'll string him along a lot. But like I love those characters. I love that dynamic. And then like that, because it's not technically a Studio Ghibli movie, I think it's the only Ghibli movie he didn't do, or the only movie he did that wasn't a Studio Ghibli movie.
Gotcha.
I mean, but like it just had like his magic essentially, which like adapted into like a Lupin the Third movie, which was it was just insane. Like seeing
it
that
kind of sounds insane. Like I feel like I definitely need to watch that.
Yeah, we should definitely check it out. It's really good. Like it has like it's not like a, well, I mean I like the story, but it's like it's not too crazy. But I was like, yeah, it's just really well done. And it's, it was just like the Miyazaki magic. It was just like turning like him doing a Lupin thing. I was like, no way, dude. Like that's crazy. Like, but nice. It just like it made it so magical and like special. It just he has that magic touch that like.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right.
That's really cool. Hell yeah! Learning more about freaking one of your idols, Miyazaki, is cool for me. I'm like learning that right now. I'm like, oh, sick! I didn't even know he did that. Fascinating. The movie I have is Captain America: Civil War.
Ooh, I had Winter Soldier as my second pick too.
Nice.
Almost had that one.
I almost had Winter Soldier too, and I low-key think Winter Soldier is probably my favorite of those movies, of the Captain America movies. It's probably better than Civil War, but I'm putting Civil War here for inspiration and impact on me, just because I think there's something that Civil War does so well. One, I think it's one of the best MCU films. I think the Captain America trilogy is one of the best trilogies in the MCU, and I think especially Winter Soldier and Civil War are easily some of the top Marvel movies. I don't know exactly where they'd place, but they're definitely up there.
Right.
But the thing that I really loved about this movie was that it's essentially an Avengers movie. Yeah. It has everyone in it, and even it introduces new characters with introducing Spider-Man and Black Panther.
Yeah.
It's the MCU. And so it has all these crazy cast, this large, Avengers ensemble, but it stays a Captain America movie through and through. He's definitely in the lead. It's definitely about him and his story and him and, the Winter Soldier, him and Bucky, and finishing that storyline and that trilogy. It's still a really great ending for that trilogy and that storyline, while also maintaining and keeping all these heroes that exist in the world and furthering the plot of the MCU. And I feel like the way it handles all that and all those characters is just really, really well done. And this shows that you can have such a big roster of characters and all this crazy things going on, but also still hone in and focus on what the plot of the movie is without losing that focus. Right? You can, it could have easily got lost with all the Avengers characters in there and introducing new characters and everything. It could be easily this hot mess of a film.
Yeah, right.
But it's not. It's handled really, really well. So, like I said, literally introduced two of my favorite characters, Black Panther and Spider-Man, as well as just dealing with such real emotions and stuff too. It's not super like in the comics with Civil War is a lot bigger and crazier, but this is a lot more of a personal story still, and you really feel that, and you feel the relationships between these characters, and I think it just handles everything with that really, really well done, and really, really well, especially, like I said, just continuing the story of Captain America, Steve Rogers, through these movies. And I think that's super super inspirational, basically, to be able to do that. It's super influential to be able to show that you can do that too. And it's something that we haven't really, a lot of people fail at replicating,
Yeah, so many people have tried.
Yeah, and even Marvel and other things and situations. And that's I definitely shout out to the Russo brothers, because they did that. And I think they nailed it still with Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame really well when it came to balancing all those groups of characters. And so fingers crossed they can do it again with these next upcoming Avengers.
Right.
I don't know if they can. That's
Same.
I'm still very nervous about it, but
right.
I think Civil War is something that really shows that you can do that, especially, like I said, it's not an Avengers movie. And it's clear that it's not an Avengers movie, but it still involves all these characters. And a lot of them have a good amount of time and story development and stuff, character development with them too. So, yeah, shout out to that movie. I think it was a really, really great movie. That was during peak MCU times. All right, so next, musical artist. So for this, I went with, and if you know me, it's not going to be hard to guess what this is, but I'm going with Coldplay.
Yep.
I absolutely love Coldplay. They're one of my favorite bands of all time, especially back in the day in my youth. And so listening to them now, I have a lot of nostalgia connected to them. And that's probably a big part of why I'm picking them for this, because I think they just formed a lot of who I am and how I dealt with myself and emotions and stuff during my, preteen and teen years. Also, their second album, A Rush of Blood to the Head, is probably my favorite album of all time. It's up there for sure. I think that album is just perfect, and every time I listen to it, it just hits me in a certain way that I almost cry every time. I just can't help it, just because it's really connected to when I was young, my a lot of nostalgia for me, but memories with my brothers and my grandma, and happy and sad, and it's a lot of emotions just connected to that album. And yeah, they've had a lot of great albums. I mean, their first album, Parachutes, is really, really good. Then they had A Rush of Blood to the Head, which is, like I said, probably peak Coldplay, one of my favorite albums of all time, if not my favorite album of all time. The third album, X and Y, is great all the way through. Viva La Vida and Death and All His Friends is a pretty good album. It's got some great songs. Probably some of their most popular songs is from that album. And then they have plenty of more albums, basically. They've had a lot. And I'm not as into them these days. They've gotten a lot more experimental, and they change their sound a lot, and I don't always love what they're doing. Their last album came out last year called Moon Music, and I don't really care about any of the songs on the album, but I still really, really love Coldplay, and they have a really, really special place in my heart and just in who I am, basically. I don't know, like, there's so much of just my youth that's just attached to them. A lot of their songs will just bring me back to certain memories.
Yeah.
Another thing that I always found really impressive and that I have to bring up is, and it's also one of my favorite songs of all time, if not my favorite song of all time, it's called The Scientist, and it's off of A Rush of Blood to the Head.
Okay.
And the music video is so cool. It's one of those music videos, and it's been done before, but it was like the first time I'd ever seen it, anything like that. But it's like a reverse narrative. So the whole video is him going in reverse, and you see the story like from the beginning, or sorry, from the end to the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's going in reverse, but he's singing the song like obviously forward.
Yeah.
So he had to learn how to sing the song backward.
Oh, whoa.
To do it, and it took him months to learn.
Crazy.
Chris Martin, it took him months to learn how to sing the song backwards, so he could record the music videos. It's crazy dedication, but like,
yeah, right.
And it's a trip. It's a really, really cool music video. It's beautiful and sad and tragic because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just thought that was really, really cool. That music video is like one of my favorite music videos ever. It's just stuck in my head because of how impressive it is to me and how cool it is, and like the fact that he literally had to learn how to sing it like backwards and do the choreography insane. And everything to get it. It's crazy. But I love Coldplay, especially their first like couple albums. They've had really great songs throughout their career, and obviously right now they're getting a little bit of spotlight again because of putting that CEO on blast at their concert.
Oh, that's right.
That's so funny to me.
Seriously.
And that guy just got wrecked, which is hilarious.
That's so funny.
That's awesome. But yeah, I love Coldplay, and if you, I just really recommend listening to Coldplay, especially their early stuff. And if you take anything from this, at least give their second album, A Rush of Blood to the Head, a shot. It's like really great album. And very different than what they're currently sounded. So if you're only used to like hearing their more like pop and weird kind of sounding stuff, it's a lot more rock-ish, and not like, it's more like a soft rock kind of thing, but it's really, really great.
Nice.
Anyways, to you, what's your musician?
My musician for the letter C is Chromeo, actually.
Oh, nice. You recently put me on to them. To him. Great. I love them.
Yeah, they're really good. Like I started listening to them back in probably right after college, around college. I had a friend of mine who turned me on to them, and like it was just like what we'd listen to on the way to work. Like we worked for Kohl's, and we were unloading trucks in the morning, so I was like, we'd listen to Chromeo on the way to work, and it would just kind of like kind of more and more dancey, electronic, kind of like funky music, and it would just like get me hyped, get me ready to go. I'm just like, oh yep, get me loose and limbered.
Nice.
But yeah, there's something about his music that just like, I don't know, it speaks to me, and like just like it has like a really like, I just love funk, like 80s, like I'll just like funk from like just like older music and stuff, and like they do such a good job of like modernizing it.
Yeah, I've recently really, I feel like I'm finding my funk phase. I've been really getting into like funk a lot more, and just jazz too, and like all that kind of stuff a little more. I need to really like dive into it because I haven't, but yeah, that's why I definitely think I do fuck with Chromeo a lot too, from what you showed me. And I haven't like fully listened to a lot of Chromeo. I've pretty much only really heard like a couple select songs, and then their like most recent album. But yeah, they're very good. I like them a lot too. So yeah,
they're really good. I know, like they also like to call themselves the only successful Arab and Jewish partnership.
Nice.
Like, it's just crazy
funny
too, especially with everything that's going on. It's just like, I don't know, they're really funny. They're really good guys, and like seeing them live is like a crazy experience. Like I feel like if anybody ever gets a chance, like 100% you should do it. Like I don't know, they're so like electric and infectious, and it's like you can't help but just start like getting down like as soon as they start playing, and like
I love that.
Yeah, they have a really good energy, and like I don't know, definitely some of the best live music I've ever seen.
Nice. They recently played here too, right? We almost went.
Yeah, but
I wish we went. I should have went to that, but there was just so much going on.
Right. Yeah, it was like a DJ set kind of thing downtown, where it was like a block party and they were DJing. I was like, it's interesting. I don't know what they would do if they were just DJing. But like, I'd have to imagine they'd play some of their music, but.
Last but not least, for sure. That's why I say that for last, because it's probably one of the most influential ones for me. Video games. Plus, this episode's about video games, so I figured leave it off on video games. But one of the most influential video games in my life, it's probably my favorite game of all time. That's definitely up there. It's crazy. I guess some of my favorite things of all time in C right now. But and that's Chrono Trigger.
Oh, yep. Hell
Chrono Trigger is amazing. It's one of those games that is timeless. You can go back and play it in its original version on the Super Nintendo, and it would still be just as good as when you played it. Because honestly, JRPGs are a timeless kind of genre, and that game just has like one art style is really sick. It's designed and inspired by Akira Toriyama. He helped design the characters, and then they modeled a lot of the enemies and stuff like that off of his style, which is what drew me to the game in the first place. Because obviously, giant Dragon Ball Z fan. So Akira Toriyama was like, big, and I loved the style. So I saw that, I was like, oh, sick! These characters look just like they're from Dragon Ball Z. So that drew me in immediately. And then it's just got this amazing soundtrack that I listen to this day. It's one of the best, if not the best, video game soundtrack.
Like it's 100% my favorite video game soundtrack.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's definitely mine too. I only go back and forth sometimes just because of certain Zelda songs, but like in entirety, like in whole, like no, it's got to be Chrono Trigger. So good. Yeah, it's fucking amazing, and I love listening to people playing it like orchestrally, like it sounds so good just because all the songs translate so well to that. But even just the original 8-bit soundtrack is phenomenal.
Right.
It's got an amazing, obviously, designed characters, but really cool characters, too. Like, one of my favorite characters, especially when I was growing up, that was just, like, so cool to me is the Frog. The Frog was so freaking cool. And he's just, like, this badass swordsman, but he's, like, cursed in a frog in the game. And he is so sick. Yeah, one of my favorite. And that's, like, I think I started with one of my common trends is like always liking the green characters and things, so like Frog, Piccolo, Martian Manhunter. There's more, I'm just not thinking of it on the top of my head, but I always end up having like an affinity to a green character. And yeah, Frog is definitely 100% part of that, and around the start of that.
His theme is so sick.
Oh yeah, like, one of the best themes.
Like I know, like that's like some kind of dumb, like I guess a fun fact about me. My goal, like I aspire to like live a life that's honorable enough to have his theme played at my funeral. Like I want to earn it, like
that's a great goal. I love that. That's awesome. And yeah, and so besides having those it's amazingly fun to play. It's got amazing gameplay. I love it's like it's got the classic JRPG style, but it's also got a twist to it with like the team up moves and the meter for the timing and stuff. So a lot of really cool, like, innovations there too that were, have inspired a lot of stuff since then. It's also, especially considering how like early in gaming this is, it's got so much game, multiple endings, like a bunch of endings.
Right. I think it might have been the first game I played with multiple
endings. Yeah, I don't. It might have been one of the first to have multiple endings for all I know.
Yeah.
Definitely, it's early enough to be. But yeah, it had so many multiple endings. Like you can literally finish the game with the main character dead. Like at one point, the main character can die at some point, like, and then you can literally finish the game without him. Like that's crazy.
It's such a trip.
And yeah, this game is just fantastic. And then they end up having a remaster on the DS, which I owned and played so much. And I'm really hoping that they come out with a newer like remake remaster.
It's this year or next year is the 30th anniversary, so I know it's like
so fingers crossed. Because it would be sick, especially if they do it in that like Square Enix's new style that they've been doing a lot with that HD 2D.
That's my dream.
That would be so sick. And just doing like an update on the soundtrack and all that would just be like my dream to have that game re-released again and like in all of its glory with like some nice little updates to it. Would be fantastic, because that game, just like during that time when this game came out too, it's when it inspired me to want to create games. So for a long time, like now I want to write TV shows. That's where my goal is. But back when I was a child, for a long time, I wanted to make video games. That was my dream. Nice. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to make video games was that game. Because not only was it a video game, but it was a story. And it had cool, like I said, literally cool characters, and they were fascinating. And you went through timelines, like you jumped through multiple times. You go to the prehistoric era, you go to the future, alternate timelines of history, and all this crazy stuff with all these cool characters. There's a robot, there's a cave woman, there's a frog, like all these cool characters, and this really epic, storyline that literally traverses through time. And I was like, yeah, I want to make things like this. I want to make RPGs. I want to make long, cool stories. And then eventually I learned that making video games is a lot more science and math and stuff to create games and do all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I just want to write stories. I don't want to do all that.
Yeah.
So that's why I shifted gears. And I would still love to make a video game someday, or make a story for a video game, or work on a video game, because I love them. So cool. RPGs are my favorite genre. And I think that's where it started with, really, was like my love for Chrono Trigger, and also during that time like Final Fantasy and stuff. But yeah, Chrono Trigger was hugely impactful, and is, like I said, I think it's fair to say, I think it's safe to say actually for me, that it's my favorite video game of all time, my favorite video game soundtrack of all time. I think it's just classic and nostalgic and literally good too. Because there's some things where it's like I can see past my nostalgia and understand that it's not technically that great, even though I still love it. But Chrono Trigger, no, like it's also just great. Like there's no denying it's seriously great. But yeah, so
Chrono Trigger, really good pick.
Yeah. How about you?
So I also had that down.
Nice. I had a feeling you might have, especially when you were talking about like wanting themes played at your funeral. I was like, this guy obviously. He's a love of Chrono Trigger.
I pretty much mimic everything you said. Like, it was just, I think that I didn't actually get around to playing it until the PlayStation 1, because like I played it after I played Chrono Cross.
Oh, nice.
And like I loved that game, and then my buddy was like, oh yeah, it's like it's a sequel technically, like it's not directly related, like the story isn't directly related, but yeah, there was a first game, Chrono Trigger, and like I have it like on this collection you can borrow if you want. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, there's some characters from the first one that are in Chrono Cross, but so I was like, yeah. After hearing that, I was like, well, I mean, I have to play that. And then like playing the PS1 version with like the anime cutscenes and everything, I was like, this is
anime cutscenes are sick. Yeah.
Like, and because it was in Akira Toriyama style, it just felt like kind of like a side like Dragon Ball story. Like we were not following Goku and like all them, just seeing some other people in like the universe. Like,
yeah, I always named my characters after Dragon Ball Z characters when I was played it. Like Frog, I did Ginyu. I'd always name my main character Gohan because he reminded me of Gohan. And then I would do like for Meryl, I think her name is, the blonde.
Yeah.
I named her like Bulma, and then and things like that. I'd always name them based off, and then like Magus, I named him like Vegeta. But the only one I didn't was Luca. I named her Velma because she just looked like Velma to me, and I loved Scooby-Doo. But like I always named them after them, like thought of them like as Dragon Ball Z characters low-key in my head too. Because I've always wanted to play Chrono Cross. I've never got to, so I really hope that they release that in like an updated version too. Has there been like a
they did kind of like a remaster. It was basically one of those things where it's kind of just it's the same game, but just with like the kind of up-resed like textures or whatever. So it's like it still pretty much just looks like the same thing, but I think it's called Chrono Cross: The Radical Dreamers, I believe.
Oh, okay. What is that on?
I know it's on the Switch. I think it's on. I want to say it's on all the like modern consoles and stuff too.
I definitely want it, because I've heard that game is really good too.
Yeah, like really good.
And like I heard it's one of the thing I think is crazy. It's something that I've always had ideas for. Is that I know there's like a bunch of people you can recruit to your party, and that's something that I've always thought of in my head too, and fascinates me. I've always loved the idea of having like hella party members that you can eventually swap through or pick and choose who you end up really liking and stuff.
Yeah, right.
So definitely need to check that game out.
Yeah, you should. It's really good. And then also shout out Control as well. That was like another pick.
Oh, and that was a more recent title.
Yeah, more recent, which kind of because like, it's not really like formative in any way, but like it's definitely become one of my favorite video games of all time. Like,
oh, nice.
Because like I'm a huge sucker for like the occult, and, like just different like I don't know like aliens and ghosts and anything like kind of mysterious, or it's like we don't know for sure if they don't exist, but like we haven't seen anything yet, but there's nothing to say that nothing to prove that they don't exist yet, so it's like who knows, you know. But like it was so cool because it just had like that X-Files type vibe, you know, where you become like the head of like the FBC or the Federal Bureau of Control, which is like got a lot like kind of like the FBI and the X-Files, where they just kind of investigate all these like anomalies in the universe and like all these kind of things that can't be explained but are just like really crazy. And like without going into spoiler territory, like there's a lot of like just really interesting like just things where it's like sometimes it's like just like a normal object, but then you read what it does and you're just like, oh no, like, okay, like yeah, we need to keep this locked up and keep it away from people. Like
that's so funny.
But it's so cool, and just like I just love like everything they do with it, and it's basically just like a 3D Metroidvania style. Like,
oh, okay, nice.
You only have one weapon essentially, but it can like morph into other like weapons like on the fly. Cool. So it's kind of cool, and then you also get psychic abilities too, and like a bunch of different things. They all feel really good to use, and like the gameplay itself is like fantastic. It's so fun to play, and it just has a really good story. And I ended up getting sucked in like I wasn't expecting to, but just Remedy has just like a really like they're really good. I feel like with storytelling and just like their cinematic storytelling, and like they do a really good job with that. Like, you know, I've been a huge fan since the Max Payne games, and like they just did such a good job with Control, and like I can't wait for the sequel. Like,
nice. I remember hearing. I did play Control a little bit because I think Tyler had it, and nice. I played a little bit with him at one point, but I never got through too much of it. It was really cool, and yeah, fascinating and weird. I love, like a lot of interesting. I think at one point like going through like it felt like the same hallway over and over again, but like there was like something changing or weird in it, and I don't know. It was like, oh, this is interesting.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, very, very interesting. All right, awesome. So that's gonna wrap up our All-in-One Alphabet challenge discussion for the day, for the week. So we're gonna jump into the bulk of the episode here. We're talking about the Switch 2, the Nintendo Switch 2. So obviously it came out earlier this year. And a lot of controversy around this console. From the pricing, the release kind of came out of nowhere, seemingly. Like, and people wondering when it was going to come, and then like there was tariffs involved potentially, and then pricing, and then like what it's even going to be on the game console. Like, what games are we going to get? So lots and lots of interesting topics around this console. But for me, I knew. Before it was even announced, obviously we knew it was coming, but before it officially got the list, that I knew I had to get this console. It didn't matter to me. I'm a huge Nintendo fan, obviously, as if you don't know that yet, you're not listening to my podcasts. But I've owned every Nintendo console pretty much, like the mainstream ones I've had, you know, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii U, Switch, now Switch 2, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, DS, 3DS. All of them. I've had all those consoles. I love Nintendo. They're my favorite, and they always will be. And I was so upset when the Switch came out because I could not get one. I took too long to try to pre-order it. I didn't have money for a while, and it was like sold out everywhere. It was super hard to find, and it took me like almost like a year before I could get one. For a lot of reasons, and that sucked, especially because two of my obviously there was Mario Odyssey on it, which was like a huge deal, and like, you know, this brand new great amazing Mario game that everyone was talking about, and then the one that killed me that I couldn't play was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I was not gonna play it on my freaking Wii U.
I keep forgetting that it actually came out on the Wii U.
I was like, there's no way I'm playing this on Wii U.
I can't imagine.
So I just had to wait until I could get it, and it sucked. And I was like, I'm not gonna let that happen again. No matter what happens, I'm going to get a Switch 2 at launch. It will happen. How did you feel about the Switch 2?
Yeah, like it was just a wild time, like pretty much like you're saying. But yeah, like I was like 100% in, like no matter what it was gonna be. Like I was hoping it was pretty much just an upgraded version of the Switch, but I was like, yeah, no matter what, because like I'm also a huge Nintendo fan, and pretty much owned every Nintendo console. And I still have most of them.
You've owned almost every console in general.
Yeah,
I've seen it in the garage. I'm like, you've owned like everything,
right? Yeah, I think it was the big thing, like growing up, because it was like I had a Nintendo. That was my first console, but then once my parents got divorced, my mom had the Nintendo and my dad had a Genesis.
Oh, okay.
So it was like when I went to my dad's house, I played Sonic, and then when I went back to my mom's house, I was playing, you know, like Mario, and then all the Ninja Turtle games on there.
Oh, nice.
I was like, the NES had such an amazing library, and like I've always, it was like, I think that's why I kind of became like the person where I just have all the consoles, is because like I hated like, well, once I'm here I can only play this, and then once I'm over at my mom's I can only play these, and I'm just like, I hate having to wait. And
you're like no, I'm not being left out anymore. I'm gonna get them all.
I was like, I don't want to. Right.
Feel that. That's sick. And wow, it was quite the journey to get the Switch 2, because obviously we're afraid it's gonna sell out. So I remember first thing we signed up for Nintendo for this thing to, like, you know, potentially get early like access to the pre-orders, but then it turns out that was actually going to be later than when the pre-orders were coming out, so that was like sketchy. And then you had the brilliant idea, I don't know if it was actually your idea or one of your friends, but to pre-order it from Amazon UK.
Like I honestly had the idea myself, because like I know I've accessed other Amazon storefronts before, like the Amazon Japan, and just straight up been able to just order something from there. So I'm like, well, yeah, like because they completely region locked the Japanese one, so I was like, well, there's no getting one from there. But I was like, well, I mean, we can import one maybe from Europe to the UK, like that might work, right? I was like, the only thing we got to worry about then was just getting the right power supply to work over here. So I was like, that's not too bad as long as we can get one. And then so I was able to just go on there and like actually pre-order it, and everything went through, and I'm like, dude, no way. Like,
Yeah, so
I was blown away.
Yeah, luckily he brought me in on that, so we both pre-order it. And then, of course, we're like, well, we're going to try to pre-order it in the U.S. too, because then we don't have to get special adapters and whatever, and it'll just be easier. We'll get it quicker too. So, pre-orders go online. We both end up getting it pre-ordered from Walmart.
Yeah.
All right, which everything seemingly going well. We get closer to the date of the release, and then boom, we notice, or you noticed and told me actually, right, that the pre-orders no longer existed on the UK Amazon.
Yeah, they just canceled them out of nowhere. No email, no notification, no nothing. They were just gone. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm assuming they probably region checked us. We saw that we were trying to order it from outside of the UK and canceled it, but it was like no warning or nothing. So we're like, okay, well, good thing we pre-ordered it here, and mine stayed and was good and everything worked out for me. But Beats, you had a lot longer of a journey.
Yeah, it was definitely a journey for sure. But yeah. So for me, I think it was like Sunday that week, I got a notification from my bank that was like fraud prevention service things popping up, being like, oh yeah, like there was a charge at like Walmart and we flagged it as fraud. And I'm like, wait, no, please, like that wasn't fraud, like just make it go through. And like, so like I accepted that, and then I got like in touch with my bank and was trying to tell them like, hey, this charge is probably going to go through. It's it's for a Switch 2. Like I need it to go through. Please just let it go through. And like there was a lot of back and forth, and it took a couple days to of chatting with different people from the bank to like really get to a point where I felt confident that like, okay, I think everything's good. And all the while, like my Walmart order still, it wasn't canceled. It still said like, pre-order, like it said it was going to be shipped and be there on the 6th. So I was like, okay, I mean, I still have it. I just got to make sure the payment goes through. And then the morning before, it was June 5th, I was like scrolling through my emails trying to see like, when is this payment going to go through? When are they going to charge me? Like, because I know it comes out tomorrow. Like now I'm getting worried. Like, and then I finally got the email from Walmart saying they canceled it, and I was
just so crazy,
right?
So crazy.
I was so heartbroken. I was like, it's like I've been seeing so many other people get their pre-orders canceled like way before that. So I was like certain that if it was going to get canceled, it would have already been canceled. But yeah, they hit me right on the morning before, and I was like, I was like destroyed because I was looking forward to this thing so much, and it was like, now I don't know what to do. Like, what? Like, so I was like trying to message like the Walmart customer service to be like, hey, what's going on? Like, they just got canceled. Like, I know it was probably because my card was flagged for fraud, but like I got the okay through my bank, so it should all be good. But yeah, and they were just kind of like, oh yeah, it was like a glitch on our systems, and like you should be getting an email sometime soon to be able to pre-order, and then everything will be okay. And some other people were just basically telling me that I was screwed and there was nothing I can do. And like,
so then that's when like panic mode sets in, and we're like, okay, what are we gonna do to get Beats this Switch 2? So luckily, GameStop and some other stores too, but I know what we ended up going to was GameStop, right? They were doing like release day exclusive consoles. Basically, you can go in and get one without having to pre-order it, as long as you got there in line and whatever.
So I think it was that day. It was like they said at 3:30 they had like basically extra stock that they got in. So like, oh, we're gonna open up pre-orders for the extras we got in, and then depending on how many they have, there might not be a lot. So just make sure you get there early. And I think it was 3 p.m. that day they were gonna let people in. So I was like, I just left work early. I was like, sorry guys, I gotta go. Like, I know GameStop's got extras, so like I'm gonna go over there and get them. And they're just kind of like, okay. Just kind of laughing about it, like, ridiculous for this, like it's a video game, just chill out. But I'm like, y'all don't understand, like it's more than that. Like but yeah, so I smashed over there as fast as I could and got in line, and obviously there was like 12 people ahead of me, or no, I think it was 16th in line. But yeah, so there was a good amount of people ahead of me. And so that obviously had me worried at first. I was like, they can't have that many extras. Like, there's no way. Like, I was like, well, but I'm still going to stand here, though, because I'm here, and, like, I don't know for sure yet.
Yeah.
But so I was like, my only chance, really. So I was like, well, I'm just going to be here, and then if this doesn't work out, I'll figure something else out. But, yeah, luckily somebody had gone inside the store and came back out and like, oh, we heard that they got 30 in stock. They had 20 of the Mario Kart World bundle and 10 of just the base console with no game. And I was like, oh, well, like, I'm 16th in line, so, like, I can I'll 100% get the Mario Kart World bundle, which is what I wanted anyway. So I was like immediately relieved. And I was like, now all I have to do is just stand here and wait until I can pay for it. And like, So thank God, now that I'm here in person, like I know that I'll get one. I don't have to worry about some like glitch in a website, like canceling it or something.
It was quite the journey, and he ended up getting his Switch 2 before me because of this. So, you know.
So it all worked out.
Yeah. But we both got the Switch 2, and with Mario Kart World, not pretty much, literally the only launch game for the Switch 2, at least first party, outside of like, there's some ports and whatever else, but it's really the only actual launch title for Switch 2. So what are your feelings on Mario Kart World?
That one's tough, because like I know I really liked it at first, just because I mean it was a new Mario Kart. It looked fantastic. It looked so good. Like, and it's so nice to finally see like Nintendo like come to like more of the modern day with like their graphical capabilities and stuff. But it's just I didn't really enjoy the way the new tracks felt, with like the driving to the track basically, like intermissions, which were just basically laps in the race. I'm like, that just kind of takes away from like the courses you built, though. Like, you don't
get the full courses except for like the first one. You do multiple, like an actual regular race. Because
it's like, that was like always, I feel like the best part of like, especially the modern day Mario Karts, where like they can feel like a giant like theme park when there's so many different things going on, and it's just so fun. And it's like that way when you're driving, multiple laps, you can kind of like actually take everything in instead of just just driving by it once real fast. I'm like, wait, what was that? Like, I have to you to play the whole race again to be able to see it. But yeah, and then just like the driving to there, like on the roads and stuff, like the highways, they're all kind of samey in a way. Like some of them had some like fun things mixed in, but it was like all that just kind of became noise while I was playing, and like
especially with the 24 racers, right? It's just
it's a lot. So chaotic. Like it's so hard to focus on anything when you're just getting battered with shells.
Which I think is part of the reason why they've made the roads less chaotic, like not as much going on with them, is because there's already so much. But like, no, I 100% agree. Like, so for me, one, I'll say this, like, I'm going to talk some shit, but overall, I really do love the game. I think it's the best Mario Kart out. I think it is great. I think they definitely took some, big leaps, and there's just some things I really think that they should have tweaked. Like, one, I don't like. I think it's cool having the open world. I don't think it's necessary. I think that's the biggest thing. Was like a biggest waste of time is this open world mode.
Right. Because they didn't really do a lot with it.
Like, there's not a whole lot to do there. There's not. It's not super exciting and fun. I wish there was just a little bit more to it, to make it feel like super worth a playing. Like I feel like maybe kids and stuff are getting a lot more out of it, but as like an obviously, adult, it's not. I would rather just play the races. But their new Knockout Tour mode is a slam dunk of a mode.
Yeah, it was like I've heard some people say they should have just called this Mario Kart Knockout Tour.
Yeah, like
and I'm like, 100%.
Yeah,
like,
it's the best thing they've added to Mario Kart, and it's fantastic. I do think that the racing, like, there's moments where I like the regular Grand Prix, like driving through and all that. I just wish there was also a mode where you could do it just regular with laps without doing the drive.
They should give you that option.
Like the fact that there's not that option. Like, because some people are going to like that and having the one continuous race basically through things. And that is kind of cool. And you get that from the Knockout Tour already, though. So that's why it's like you don't fully need that. But if you do have that, just allow the option to just do regular races. Like,
right. Especially with the outcry online. Like, people want it.
Yeah.
Like, 100%.
And it's so weird that they're just like, no.
Yeah, right? Like, Nintendo, what are you doing?
Like, just give the people what they want so we can fully enjoy what you made and enjoy your stages. Like you're saying, like, they're interesting stages that we want to enjoy. And we don't really get to fully enjoy them. Like, you don't even really know when the stage actually begins because you're traveling there.
Right.
So a lot of times, like, I don't even know if I'm actually really on that course yet or not. And their laps are counted differently because it's part of it is the drive there. So it's weird. The 24 racers is cool. Overall, it makes it a lot more chaotic. I wish there also yet again was a mode where you can just do 12. Like, I just don't understand. Like, if you're going to introduce the stuff, cool, but have modes where you don't have to. Like, give us the options, give us the choices. But that one I'm less mad about, because I do overall think it's really fun to have them. It's way more chaotic, but that's part of the fun of Mario Kart.
Right.
So that's cool. But I've stated this before, and I'll continue to say it again. I think the roster is boo-boo. Yeah. I think it's weird. There's a lot of characters. There's like 50 characters or something, but they're all just nonsense, random things. And I just don't understand what they were thinking when they came to this roster. And why not just including like classic, like, or just regular Nintendo characters, like Mario characters? Like, there's so many just characters actually that are just not in this, and instead we're getting random enemies that I didn't even know existed. So I'm like, why am I driving as a freaking bonefish?
Yeah, right. Or coin coffer.
Yeah, it's just so weird. But like no Toadsworth or Professor Egad or anything like that. Like I don't know. And like none of the freaking Koopalings are in this. It's so weird. And then only DK, we got rid of Diddy Kong and Funky Kong and stuff, like, and Cranky Kong. Like they could have all been additions to this. It's just weird. And then the same thing with some of the costumes. Like there's some fun costumes, but some of them are just like uninspired, I feel like. And then there's not a whole lot of them, and then some of them have less than others for some reason, and it's weird because they have like almost all the same ones, but one will just have one bonus one. That's like, oh, this character gets this for some reason, but even though they share almost the entire outfits, like this other character doesn't get that. And then Donkey Kong and Pauline get one.
Yeah,
and you're like,
what is that about? Like, especially with the game, the Bonanza coming out.
Yeah,
like,
I thought that they would at least get an update with some of those costumes or something in it, but it just hasn't yet. And I don't know if it's just they're still working on that or what. But it's been a minute now. Like I expected to hear something earlier or see something from it.
Anything.
Because in my head I was thinking that like, oh, maybe they're saving stuff until that game comes out.
Right. That's what I was thinking too.
And like a little bonus or something where you get like, oh, like it should be free DLC or Bonanza with costumes from that, and like maybe the teen Pauline and like now additional like Diddy and Dixie and Cranky and like characters from the actual freaking Donkey Kong series because they haven't been around. But no, we haven't gotten any of that. So it's kind of weird, but overall, like the game is great. It's fun, and especially with people, but like it's not something that's really going to hold you over too long. Like it's a party game, which is fun, like I said, but it's not like a big single player like launch title thing that's going to get people to really like sink their teeth into and really enjoy and experience the Switch 2. I feel like we're getting that a little bit more now with the next big release, which is Donkey Kong Bonanza that we're just talking about. So far, well, I recently just finished the game. I haven't finished the end game stuff, but I finished the actual game, and it's amazing. Like this definitely should have been the launch title.
Right.
It's like the Mario Odyssey is for the Switch, is what this game is for the Switch 2. I think it's even better than Odyssey. It's more fun to me. And this game is just insane. The graphics are great. The story's cool. It's got this fun, cute charm to it, and it's just ridiculously fun. And the amount of like the level of design that they've gone to make things stay fresh and not get stale, because it's just like go in and smash things, and you think like, okay, well, doing this over 16 levels is going to get boring.
Right. I thought I was going to tap out real quick.
Yeah, but like no, like they keep introducing new forms for Donkey Kong and new terrains and the new way things are going to work that just keep you engaged and having fun, and it's also surprisingly challenging versus like there's been a lot of Nintendo games recently that have just been way too easy. And for me, this game's not like overtly hard or anything, but there is some actual like challenges that I'm like, oh, this is going to take me multiple tries to get through this and actually, collect this banana. But what are your thoughts on Donkey Kong Bonanza though? I know you're not finished with it yet, but you're
maybe about like 70%, 75% done or so, some close to that. But yeah, I know it's like a mimic a lot of things you said. It's like it's so much fun. I was like, yeah, that Mario Odyssey team like really is something special over there. Like 100% should have been the launch title, just because like I feel like it really shows off like the power of the Switch 2 so well with like being able to like stay like most of the time like a good consistent frame rate when you're just smashing through like all kinds of terrain. Just
I've only had
going crazy
a few times of it being weird, like because I'm doing that whole like kind of spoilers here for one of the forums, but like sucking up stuff and there's enemies and things and are breaking, and it's like there's been a couple times where I was like, oh, kind of for a second, but even then that was honestly really rare that even happened. For the most part, it's been really smooth.
Yeah, such a fun game, and like I've been having so much fun with that. And I also like it more than Mario Odyssey, and like I can tell because like I want to do everything in this game. Like with Odyssey, like there's so many moons I skipped, and I'm just like they just don't feel like they're just kind of there, and like they're not the most fun to get. Like,
it's not like worth the challenge to do it. Like
so I'm like I don't care. Like I'll play it. The game was amazing, but yeah, it was like I didn't want 100% it. I didn't want to keep going back. But yeah, with this, it's like it's taken me so long to beat it because I'm getting everything before I move on. Like
I definitely see myself 100%ing this game.
Yeah, same.
And yeah, so these are the first two and really only games for the Switch 2 as far as like exclusive. Well, really only like they're the only two games of merit at this point that are out. Outside of there's been some ports and some other things, but for the most part, this is it. With that being said, so far, do you think it's worth it?
I feel like it depends. If you like have a Switch and like you play that a lot, and you're like you really like Mario Kart like it could be like I feel like it's definitely not for everybody right now, but like I feel like it's more for like the enthusiasts and stuff, just because like it's just I've wanted like a more powerful Switch because I love the idea of the Switch, but like it was just like I don't want to play anything on it. Like
that's literally where I'm at with it too. I feel like I've had people ask me about it, like, oh, how do you feel? Like, is it worth it? Should I get one? And I'm like, well, how much do you love Nintendo? Like, basically, like, if you love Mario Kart and you love like the games they make, like Donkey Kong Bonanza, if you saw the trailers, you're like, that looks like something I'm going to really enjoy, then it's 100% worth it, because those games are fantastic. And then you can play your past games on the Switch on it, and upgraded versions, and there's always the promise of what's to come. But that's pretty much where we're at with the Switch. It's more of like, I don't feel like it was a waste. I'm glad to play these games right away, but like also it's more of like I'm excited for what is to come. And speaking of what is to come, so we got a couple games on here that are coming out soon-ish, so I want to talk about those coming up for this launch, not launch, but for the launch year. Some of them are also potentially coming out next year. We have we have the Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, which is supposed to come out in winter, I think they said, so it's like potentially end of the year / beginning of next year. Hyrule Warriors is a very fun franchise and series. I love those kind of games. The first one was really cool, but the one that was the Age of Calamity, the one that was Breath of the Wild inspired and only about that Breath of the Wild storyline, was way better than the first Hyrule Warriors. And that game was really cool, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm really excited for this one. I love the world, and I like that it's, at least they keep claiming that it's canon, and that it's going to be a canon really story, cool. And showing the past storyline and everything. Plus, it's the fact that we're going to get more Ganondorf. We're going to get more of these sages that were like faceless in the game. And these games are, even if the storyline's not cool, which I'm excited for because I like the idea of storyline and learning more about the Zelda world and lore. Yeah, they're just a lot of fun to play. This killing and smashing through things. So I'm very excited for that. Also, because it seems like they're adding some like potential like team up moves. It looks like, and some other stuff that are going to be interesting compared to like the previous one, which didn't have team up moves or anything like that. So also will probably be like, I mean, potentially has the potential to be one of the first Zelda games, and this definitely be the first Hyrule Warriors game without Link, like so far.
Oh shoot! Like, yeah, you're right.
Like, there's not Link in it because it's in the past, and Link's not there. So
which I was wondering because like I think in the newest trailer they showed like right at the very end there's like a humanoid looking robot that's coming to life, and I was like heard some people speculate that could potentially be Link. Like they're like bringing him from the future, like his spirit's in the robot or something.
It would be interesting if they do. Then it's 100% not canon. Then they're lying to my face,
right? Because that definitely didn't happen.
Yeah, I know some people were thinking maybe it's like the what was it, the Hero of Legend or whatever. You get that skin that looks like freaking weird and cool. That's like the old. He's supposed to be Hero with like the orange hair and the weird green looking skin and whatever. Yeah, and I'm like maybe it's something to do with that, or it's just a cool robot thing that maybe embodies Link, like maybe it she models it after him or something, so it fights like Link, so it's a way to still have like a Link thing without it being Link. I don't know. Either way, definitely interesting, and I'm excited for that game. It's supposed to come out this year, which we haven't heard anything about since it was announced, though, is going to be Kirby Air Riders is supposed to come out. Oh, yeah. Air Riders, and they announced it. It's supposed to be this year. We've heard nothing about it, so don't know
what it looks like.
Yeah, that's weird that we know next to zero about it.
Right, doesn't give me a lot of hope that it'll come out this year.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're going to probably push it back, but could be interesting. It is interesting already that it's another racer that we're going to get. I never played the original. I heard it's very different than Mario Kart. Yeah, but I'm interested in playing it and giving it a shot and seeing what kind of game it is, because I'm definitely going to be interested in at least giving it a shot. But we haven't seen anything from it.
Right. That's true. Actually, I went back and I played the original like after this got announced because I never played it either. So I got to know how different it is. Like, what is it? And it's like, I feel like if they like modernize it, could be really cool. It seems like the original, you're basically like it's still like a partyish type game, multiplayer, but like each player at the beginning, you start in this big open map, and you start on foot and you pick your vehicle. Like you basically have like random vehicles like spread out around the map, and you have to like try to run and get to the vehicle you want to use.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then it becomes like you're almost battling each other like before the race starts to like try to get the right vehicle that you want, and you can try to knock people out and like just take their vehicle, and so it becomes like really aggressive like right away, and it's this huge fight to get like the best vehicle for the race. And then after, it's like a set timer, and once the timer ends, then the race starts, and then you all kind of go in with whatever vehicle you managed to get.
Nice.
And then from there, it's pretty much like a typical like kind of racing style game. But it was like, it's like a really interesting twist. It almost like has like a battle royale like style vibe to it at the beginning, and then it just goes into a race. But it's like that could be really cool. Like,
and because maybe I'm wrong here, but I know like I know this game is being made by Sakurai, who you know obviously did Smash Bros and everything too. So makes sense that he would have had more fighting stuff involved in it too. He does that well, so it'll be fun. But in Smash Bros, there's those Kirby items that you collect multiple of and then eventually become like a weapon.
Oh,
is that in Outriders at all? Like collecting items and then eventually you build like a weapon that you can use?
I never experienced that, but I didn't play a whole lot, so it could be.
I'm just curious. I know those items are from Kirby games.
Yeah,
I just don't know. I don't play a lot of Kirby, to be honest. I know you've played Kirby.
Yeah.
I don't really play Kirby, so I don't know much about it.
Right. So speaking of that too, I'm really excited for the DLC that's coming out later this month. Starcross World.
Yeah, for the Switch 2 edition. We're definitely going to get into Switch 2 editions too in a little bit here. The last game that we know that's coming, that's like a Nintendo like property that has been announced officially, that's actually like a Switch 2 game, is Splatoon Raiders, which also we don't know much about. They just kind of show a little trailer out of nowhere, a little small thing, and was like, yeah. Cool. They didn't even say like what kind of game it is.
Right. I think it's single player.
Yeah.
I think that's what I've heard.
Most people are assuming, it's definitely like a single player, like more of like an action adventure kind of situation, which is cool. I never got into Splatoon, but I could potentially get into this. I know they put a lot of love into Splatoon. A lot of people really love this game, so it's, you know, when Nintendo's doing things right, they do it right, you know? And so, you know, the point is right now, there's not a whole lot of like exciting games on the horizon. We're waiting for Nintendo to drop like a direct with more information on what's to come.
You gotta have one coming soon.
Yeah, they've done a little indie direct and like a partner showcase and stuff like that. But we haven't
teasing us.
Yeah, pretty much. But we're not getting anything like substantial for like legit Switch 2 games. And outside of their first party, the only exclusive third-party game is from Software, Duskbloods.
Yeah, and
that looked wild.
Yeah, I still can't believe that exists.
Yeah, and I think that's supposed to be coming out next year. So definitely excited to see more from that, and that's cool that they're even willing to give Nintendo an exclusive. So that's I want to see potentially more exclusives from third-party stuff, but. Yeah, and then the bigger games coming out that we actually know like are coming out this year are Switch 2 edition games. So they're not made fully for Switch 2. They're just going to have upgrades for Switch 2. And the first one is Pokemon Legends ZA coming out in October, which obviously we're both huge Pokemon fans. Definitely looking forward to that. I think Pokemon Legends Arceus is fantastic. One of my favorite Pokemon games in recent memory. So... Same. Excited for this one. I'm a little apprehensive on some aspects just because it seems like a lot less diverse as far as like locations goes and stuff like that.
In the big cities, like how much can we do?
Yeah, like what exactly? Like I don't know what we're gonna do there, but and then the only new Mega they showed was Mega Dragonite, and it was underwhelming.
Yeah,
so
real weird looking.
Yeah, I'm really like hoping that there's a lot better and cooler Megas involved. And it also seems like we're only getting new Megas and not any new Pokemon, which was one of my favorite parts of Legends Arceus was like these new evolutions and these like alternate forms, which are like super cool. Like it has some of the best new designed Pokemon, and in recent times were like the exclusive Hisuian versions. And I really love those Pokemon, and that's why I really love that game. And I'm hoping that this doesn't disappoint me. But I'm definitely so excited for it.
Yeah, same.
And then still supposed to come out this year without a release date is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Yeah.
Which they have to have a direct soon where they show some off about this, because we've seen just so little. Like the last trailer showed the most, and even then we're not getting a whole lot of details. We just know that she can use psychic powers to open doors. But it's like, what's going on? And it looks fantastic, and I'm excited, and a lot of people are excited for like being able to use the mouse aspect of the Switch 2, which will probably be a lot of fun to shoot and stuff. I know you're a really big Metroid fan,
Yeah.
and you've played the games a lot more than me. I played Metroid Prime the original a little bit. I've seen my brother play them a little bit more, but I never played through all of them, the trilogy, and I was bought and given Metroid Prime Dread as a gift, and I still haven't played it. I mean, I need to.
Yeah, you do.
So what are you feeling about Metroid Prime 4 though? Like, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I can't wait. Like, I've anticipated this game for so long now, and like I'm worried because it's gone through so much like development hell, like over and over, and like Switch developers, and like it's got remade completely.
Yeah,
and like now I'm hearing like it's still supposed to be ready this year, but like also there's a little bit of turmoil. Like I didn't even want to look at the article because like I can't see this right now. Like don't do it again. Like
yeah,
I'm tired of being stringed along. But...
That would definitely explain why there hasn't been a release date. Because for all I know, it's gonna end up getting pushed back or something.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm worried because it gets pushed back to next year. I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't trust it anymore. Like do you guys? Do you trust it?
Yeah,
like,
I don't even know. Like it's honestly, there was a point where we thought the game was just dead.
Yeah,
because we'd heard that it had been completely scrapped and redone, and then it had been years since it was announced that happened, and we hadn't got anything until recently when we finally actually got the trailer about it. And now it's like still having difficulties, so very nerve-wracking for a series and that's why I think they're doing it. So that's why I'm like, at the same time, it's like if you need to push it back to get it right, do it.
Yeah, right.
Because there's so much like fans waiting on this game for so long, and if it comes out and it's like misses the mark, it's going to be devastating.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
And Metroid deserves a great series, and like Metroid Dread was fantastic. Everyone loved that.
Like I was so surprised that it was that it even came out. I'm like, wait, like I felt like it came out of nowhere, and I was like, I felt like
it literally did came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I was like, we'll never get another 2D Metroid, and like that was such a nice little surprise. Like,
yeah, and then as far as other Switch 2 editions, I know there's like a Mario Party thing, which I don't really care about, and I've heard it's not that great.
Yeah, it was just like they didn't even up the resolution or any of the performance for the original like game. It's just like the Jamboree plus TV, which is the only part which isn't that much, I guess, either. Which is like what?
I'm not a big fan of Mario Party anymore in general. I've been burned by that game too many times in the past. I don't care about it. But I know the only other Switch 2 edition game outside of both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which got like big performance upgrades and some additional little stuff, which is really cool. But actually getting real content is Kirby, right? So
I'm real excited for that.
Yeah, what's going on with Kirby?
Yeah, so they're introducing. Yeah, so it's like there's like a Switch 2 edition for the Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is getting like it's supposed to have more like hopefully 60 FPS and a lot more stable because like the game it was more around 30, like can get kind of choppy on the original Switch. So I'm excited for that. It'll be a lot more stable and like up the graphics. It'll make the original game look a lot better. But then it's also getting the Starcross World DLC, which I haven't heard haven't looked into too much because I don't want to get too spoiled on it. But like I know like it's supposed to like I guess reuse some of like some of the older levels from the first game, but like with new environments and just kind of like. But it's essentially like a full DLC campaign. That's like I don't know how much longer it's gonna be, but it's like just more game to play.
Yeah, I remember when they announced that and they showed off a little bit of it. That's all I've seen from it too. Was when they did the initial talk about it. I was like, oh, that's really sick though that they're adding like a full DLC and like new stuff to it, which is like at first because like it seemed like these Switch 2 editions are just upgrades.
Yeah, right.
And that's seemingly what they're going to be too for ZA and Prime 4. We don't really know if there's like additional content to it, especially because those games are newer. So I doubt it.
Yeah, right.
But it's cool that they're even doing like additional content for a game, but it doesn't seem like we're getting that for anything else. So I thought maybe it would be like, maybe we can do Odyssey and they'll do like a DLC for it because it's been so long and there was never DLC for Super Mario Odyssey, or a sequel, obviously. So like an upgrade with new stuff would be sick, but we're not really getting a lot of that. So I don't know. I feel like the Switch 2 editions are a cool idea, but there's not so much there in execution so far.
Right? Like I was actually kind of disappointed with that because I felt like there would have been a little more transparency as to what they were gonna like upgrade and all that, and it was just like they just kind of picked and choose a couple certain games. Like I mean, the Zeldas obviously make sense with being like, probably the biggest games on the platform, but and there's like some games that got just updates that weren't Switch 2 editions to make them run a little better, and so that was cool. Like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, and, can actually like play.
Yeah, right. Like you can see your Pokemon from afar now. Yeah. Because one of the developers said is like one of the benefits of playing it. That's hilarious. Like, yeah. but yeah, so it's just been kind of like weird the way they rolled it out because it's like I feel like with the hardware of the Switch 2, like it's so similar to the first one that it should just naturally be able to just
like lift them,
lift the games up. But I guess I don't know. Some developers have some certain things locked, so like they're just gonna run the same no matter what. But yeah, so I feel like they could have done like a lot better job just kind of rolling out these like updates, or at least saying like what they plan on updating, or if they're gonna plan on doing anything else. Because I feel like they came out with these ones and then said nothing else. So like, well, there's so many other games that could really benefit from an upgrade. Like,
and it definitely did seem like it's like, is this it? Just these like, what was it, like 5 or 6 games?
Yeah. Not very many, yeah.
And if your entire catalog, like, that's all we're getting. 2 of them aren't even out, like, and they're just coming out with like better things, like exactly. I actually wonder too, like, how much is the Switch 2 edition for those games? Like, what is it worth? Like, outside of just enhanced performance, I guess that's all we're paying for.
Yeah, with Kirby being the only one, I feel like it's worth the value because you're getting more content with it.
But it's like I'm going to get it for ZA and Prime 4, but I'm like, how much more are we talking here? I don't want to play them with Switch graphics and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely not.
No. But like it's unfortunate that it costs so much extra for seemingly so little.
Right, which is like why I'd have a hard time almost recommending the Switch 2 to like most people, just because I'm like, well, like they're so weird with like, you could just have a Switch, you just play it on the Switch if you're not like, a huge gamer. But
yeah, and if you already have one, especially because at this point now, Switch's prices have went up.
Yeah,
and if you saw that, which is crazy. The Switch is not crazy. The Switch 2 hasn't gone up in price as far as I saw.
Yeah,
but like
still the same.
The Switch and the original Switch and other things have went up in price because probably tariffs and other things and whatever. But they didn't want to fuck with Switch 2 and its sales and everything like that. So instead, they're moving everything else up. So I guess if you don't own a Switch, it's like you might as well just do the extra and get the Switch 2 at this point, because you're paying what's like only $100 difference or something like that.
Yeah, might as well.
It's like it's a way better console. Like, obviously there's still a lot to come for it, but it is definitely better. Yeah, it's 100%. Just feel like there's a lot of more that could have been done for it at launch. Like, it does feel like it came out, but they weren't ready.
Yeah, right.
It's weird because it's so long before we heard anything. It was like, oh, it's rumors and all this stuff. And it was like, screw it, just put it out, I guess. But I'm like, yeah, it doesn't feel like you were fully ready for it. I don't know. And the only other thing that we have that's to talk about with the Switch 2 is like its virtual console, which isn't really attached to the Switch 2 per se. It's to your Nintendo Online membership.
Yeah.
But only available on the Switch 2 through the online membership is a GameCube virtual console, which is pretty cool. There's only 4 games right now. We have the Legend of the Wind Waker, F-Zero GX, Soul Calibur 2, and now Super Mario Strikers.
Oh yeah.
And that's pretty cool. I've definitely put some hours into Soul Calibur 2. I love that game. One of my favorite fighting games. And obviously with Link in it is super sick.
Right.
And that game's awesome. And I love Wind Waker, but the thing that's weird to me is not like the updated version of it. Like, they've released and have updated versions of Wind Waker already, but then you go, okay, I can play like this older version on the virtual console, which I guess it's just a virtual console, but it feels like was lame, kind of. Like, right? It's like I have the HD version on my Switch. Like,
right. So it's like, why would I want to play this?
Yeah,
and I've heard so many, like rumors that they had, another remake of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
Yeah, they've been rumored for a while, but we've never seen anything from
right.
it.
And we get this instead, just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna wait because I love that game, but it still looks fantastic. Even then, but like that art style is so timeless. Like,
it honestly was a great choice for them.
Yeah,
it is a timeless art style. But yeah, and then F-Zero, I'm glad to see it get life again. I'm hoping that we can bring it to life eventually, the full series after we've had like F-Zero 99 or whatever.
Oh yeah,
with
that's what I keep going back to every once in a while. It's actually really fun.
So I tried to play F-Zero GX again on the GameCube, and I sucked horribly. I was so horrible, especially after playing Mario Kart. It plays so different. And I was like, my tiniest movement, and I'm flying across this freaking racetrack and crashing into shit. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm terrible at this game. So I'm probably not going to play it for a while because it was kind of rough for me. But I'm definitely excited for other games to come on that. I don't know how long in between rollouts it's going to be, and like what game they have. They announced like Sunshine's coming, like Pokemon Coliseum and some other things like that. Fire Emblem, Path of Radiance, which is cool. I'm excited to play that again because I love that game. Are coming, but I just don't know when, and I don't know if there's any other third parties like with Soul Calibur 2. Like, I don't know if there's any other ones that we're gonna get, because the GameCube has an amazing catalog of games. It's got one of the best catalogs, personally, in my opinion. So it would be cool to see what else eventually makes its way onto it and if it's gonna, how much games they're gonna eventually add. Because I looked through some of the other, because this is my first time really checking out the Virtual Console. It was finally on the Switch too, because we didn't have a lot of games to play. So I was like, let me go through the Virtual Console and see what else is on there. But there's a lot of games on there through the other ones, because obviously they have like a Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and N64 are all on there, and a Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
So cool. There's a lot of cool games on there. So definitely interested to see what we have like coming. But yeah, overall, I will say I am loving my Switch 2.
Yeah, same.
But if you're not a huge Nintendo fan, it's probably not worth it at this moment.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's definitely still disappointing for me as a Nintendo fan. Like its lackluster rollout, like as far as like games and others. Like I said, literally at this point, we have the big games that are out, and everything else is like we don't really know much information about what's coming and when it's coming. So it's a little unfortunate for sure, but I definitely love it. And if you don't want one yet, you should definitely find a friend that has it so you can go play some Mario Kart World, because it's great.
Hell yeah.
So I definitely want to have a day where we invite people over to play it, because it's so fun and chaotic, and it would be fun just to have like a lot of people and swapping in and out and playing through it, because it's just outlandish. You can go from being first place to freaking 20th place in a second.
It's so quick.
It's so crazy, and it feels so good when you can screw someone over and get ahead, but it also feels just as bad when you get screwed over. So much fun. Before we go, though, I ever talk about something that we're really looking forward to for the week, for this upcoming week, or not necessarily like this week, but just coming out soon. So what's something that you're really looking forward to that's going to be coming out in the near future, Beats?
Ooh, so I actually played a demo for it recently, but it's a game called Mina the Hollower. I don't know if you've heard of it yet.
I have not.
But so it's being developed by the same developers that did Shovel Knight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just like, I love Shovel Knight back when that came out, and they have such like they're so good at like creating like a retro game that feels modern. Like, because like I remember Shovel Knight had that kind of like NES, like almost Mega Man kind of style. But yeah, it was really good, like a really really good feeling game to play. And I ended up trying to get the demo for Mina the Hollower because like I saw it's one of the only Switch 2 games that can run at 120 FPS right now.
Oh, nice.
Because I was like, oh shoot, because that's one thing that kind of disappointed me too. And like so far with the Switch 2 rollout is like that was something they said in the original trailer, like, oh, like you can play games on your TV at 4K and 60 FPS, or you can bump it down to 1080p with 120 FPS. I was like, whoa, no way! Like, I can't believe Nintendo's even talking about like performance like this. Like, we just kind of get what we get and deal with it. But yeah, so I saw that it was like one of the only. It was just a demo, but it was one of the only games that ran at like 120 FPS. So I was like, oh, I want to see like the Switch. I want to see like the Switch 2 do this. Like, 'cause I haven't seen a game that does it yet. And like I had a lot of fun. Like it's really cool. It has like it feels a lot like the art style is similar to like a Game Boy Color type game. So it's like really simplistic, like kind of like kind of like 8-bit graphics, you know. But yeah, so it has that. It's like a top down like Zelda like kind of action RPG.
Oh, nice. Those are cool.
But yeah, it's really well done, and like it seems like with the team behind Shovel Knight, I feel like it's going to be like be a really good time. But yeah, I really enjoyed the demo. Like,
does it have like a release date?
I think it's October.
Oh,
it's coming out this year for sure.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, later this year.
Sick. So I think also coming out October, and not Nintendo related but it is a game. It's Ghost of Yotei.
Oh yeah.
And that's the sequel to the Ghost of Tsushima, which I really really loved when that game came out. I had so much fun with that game, and I'm super excited for the sequel. It looks fantastic. The graphics are crazy good.
Yeah.
And the storyline looks interesting. It kind of looks like. The storyline reminded me of a little bit of what was going on with like Assassin's Creed Shadows. With
it really did.
With that girl, I forget her name, but her storyline specifically.
Naue, I think.
Yeah, but it's like her storyline almost, but done different and better seemingly from the trailer already. And obviously the game's probably going to be better in my opinion, just because I played that Assassin's Creed game and it's not as good as the original Ghost of Tsushima. Right. It's fun, but it's literally like middle of the road good, where I'm like, I'm not super sucked in. Like, it's a good time, but I'm not like, oh, I want to keep going back and playing this. And that's how I felt with Ghost of Tsushima. And I feel like that's how I'm going to feel with this Ghost of Yotei. And it looks just really incredible. And I'm super excited to get my hands on it. I like that they're doing this thing where like when you go to your camp and rest, like the merchants and stuff come to you.
Yeah, so you don't have to go and like look for them and spend all the time.
Yeah, exactly. With all the hunting people down and or fast traveling or just quick traveling, all this stuff. It's like, no, everything can just come to you, and you can. That seems like such a good quality of life update that I'm like really excited.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm like, that's super cool. and all the different masks and stuff you can get looked really cool and crazy on the outfits and everything. So it's just going to be a lot of fun. Plus, like the weapons, being able to switch to all these crazy weapons looked really insane.
I listened to an interview with one of the developers, and he was talking about the weapons and how like they wanted to stray away from using like the stance system, because like that was cool, but like also it's just kind of
it'd be samey, especially if they did it again. Yeah.
So yeah, with like the different weapons, and like they were like you can pick the weapon you like and just use that weapon, so you don't have to necessarily be like, oh, well, this weapon's strong against this, and you don't have to change them. So he's like, kind of like in Tsushima, where you could use the same stance if you wanted to. Yeah. But yeah, we saw like it just seemed like they put a lot of thought into like the way the weapons work in this, so it's like it's really exciting. Yeah, and they talked about the character, like she's not an honor bound samurai, like she's like do anything to win kind of fighter. So she just runs out with people throwing spears at people, switching. Like, she had that gun, boom, like, shot that dude. I was like, oh, this looks sick. It's gonna be so cool. So definitely super excited to play that. And I believe that comes out in October. But yeah, so that's it for today's episode. If you really enjoyed this, please listen to my previous episodes and follow me on social media, All in One Discussion. That's going to be TikTok, Instagram. So until next time, peace out. Peace out, y'all.